Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is another episode of the Business, Love, and the Tidbits. My name is Ingrid Pinkett. I am an executive administrator, executive assistant, entrepreneur, business owner with a passion for retail. Hence the Ingy Pink Network. Go find all my stuff there. Um, Miss Dom, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we're going to introduce our special guest.
Hey everyone, I'm Dom. I am the founder and CEO of Sisters Inspiring Sisters, which is a business empowerment program focused on helping women entrepreneurs achieve their best potential in life and business with a strong focus on personal development um, and mindfulness. And I just always just talk about saying about that to empower your business, you need to empower yourself first. And so we are strongly focused on you, the person, and without you, there is no business. So that's me. That's what I'm coming with today. A strong psychological perspective on life, and that's what we got. Today is going to be great. We are ending season one. We are coming to the end of Business, Love, and Tidbits. And so, what better way than to end this week talking about how to build wealth? We're going to talk about the imposter syndrome, but we're really going to talk about how to build wealth, how to sustain your business. So, we have a special guest, my good friend, Chris. Chris, you go ahead and introduce yourself. Nobody can introduce you better than you.
I appreciate that. It's going to be Rich Before 50 on all social media platforms. Christopher Colbert, married husband, 20 years married, father of three, entrepreneur, investor. And Sabah Aher means good morning in Arabic to my beautiful hosts that have invited me for this session. One of the things that I do is I actually coach business owners. I help people from start to finish to creating your business, to structuring the business, to scaling your business, to getting business funding, and even investing into investment endeavors, whether it's real estate or whatever it's flipping cars or Turo or whatever business model you have. I can help you scale that business and grow that business. So it's kind of what I do. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm excited to have you. I'm excited to have you. We um we have a in our culture, and I'm glad you're a consultant. We're coaches. Ingrid's a business consultant as well. And there's often a stereotype within our culture that we're not paying for coaches. So, and it's changing. It is shifting, but it hasn't hit everywhere. And so people often be like, I'm not giving my money to them. I don't know them. I don't know. So how do you break that barrier within our culture specifically to get people to understand that we need professionals, we need help,
Yeah.
and that to do that we need to hire people to help us do that.
Right. So one thing is I don't know how everybody fare with their religion, but there is so many gems about how to build wealth in the Bible, regardless of whether you believe in God or Christ or whatever. But there are so many scriptures that talk specifically about um, building wealth, having mentors, being around wise counsel. There's a lot of tidbits. Ain't that the word, John? Tidbits. There's a lot of tidbits in the Bible specifically about building wealth. And so the mind shift has to be in terms of understanding that wherever I am in life, if there's someone that has or is further along than I am, what's the easiest way to get inside of that person's ear or on their radar? Because you can't, like, if they're well versed in whatever it is you want, in most cases, or if they're wealthy, you can't just talk to them or take them to lunch, because lunch, you spending $50 or $80 on some lunch may often be like them losing thousands of dollars. So you've got to figure out how you can do that. And so one easy way is, if you got the money, pay them. Like, that's just simple. Like, if I can afford to pay somebody because I don't have the information or the knowledge base to hold a conversation in their lane, or they already got a team of people around them, the best way to do it is just pay them to get you to where it's the shortcut. Y'all been to the fair before, or to an amusement park? You got a regular admission line, and then you got a fast pass line, right? The people that go pay that money, that extra money to go to that fast pass line, you be standing in that long line, and you be like, dang, they get to go to the front of the line. That's what I equate. That's what I equate paying for mentors and coaches is, truthfully. And I mean, and if we get to talking about how much money I spend on coaches, y'all be like, boy, you crazy.
No,
but but then you got to think, there's people that spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to college. Now, and trust me, people gonna hear me on a lot of more of my social media. I have a master's degree. My introduction, did I talk about that? No, but guess what? People spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it never equates to life, like life happiness. It never equates to wealth. Sometimes it never equates to time freedom. Like all of these things you spend all this money on, but then you're fighting the notion of paying for a coach or a mentor. Like it's got to make sense.
Right.
So that's a great analogy. The college analogy, I might have to start using that, because that is a great analogy. And these kids are coming up different. I mean, just totally off subject. My 14-year-old daughter, she's like already like, Mom, how can I get to the money, because I don't want to go to college. The college doesn't make any sense. I'm not learning nothing at school right now. I learn more money on TikTok and Instagram and on Google than I learn at school. And she's serious. Like she's not playing around. She's coming to me with business advice, investment stuff all the time off of stuff she learned on TikTok or on Instagram. I'm just like, you still kind of like, she's 14, so you're like, you got to go to school because you have to go to school. And so she's like, can I just drop out right now and I can go start a business right now? I'm like, nah, man. But that's the mindset that she's already building herself up for. And she's like coming to me with plans all the time on what she wants to do right now, so she don't got to go to school. I'm like, girl. and she's really, really serious. I mean, Ingrid, her anxiety about going to school is so high because she's mindfully telling herself school is a waste of time and I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm just like, oh shit, what am I supposed to do with this information? Besides feed her what you can do when you're done, because you got to finish high school at least, but feed her what she can do right now to start getting herself prepared, since you don't want to go to, you already deciding that you don't want to go to college. Right.
You know what we say to the young children, because my daughter is 16 and she's probably on that same sheet of music where your daughter's at. But it's having them saying some of those those affirmation, those words of affirmation, like, I finish everything that I start. So you started in the 9th grade. So regardless to whether you want to continue on and go to a university or whatever the case may be, I finish everything that I start. When you use those kind of and some of those affirmations, when you say that to your child and you have them recite that, it psychologically, even though there may be like, because I was talking to my daughter late, like 2 nights ago, right? Remember when I sent you a message, but I was talking to her late, like 2 nights ago, and I was telling her, like, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that, like, all of this stuff that they're teaching you in your school, like 9 times out of 10, history's wrong. They didn't tell you that. I mean, they're going to tell you all this stuff about European culture and everything else, but they're not going to give you a full, accurate picture of what really happened. And then number 2, when they're not going to tell you about wealth building strategies and things, like all of these principles and things you learn, like you're not going to use them out there. Right. Trust and believe. So, but I finish everything that I start.
I like that.
I have everything that I need within me right now. Like, I am healthy, wealthy, and wise. Like all of these various different positive words of affirmation is what I'm, have. If we have our children recite them, understand them, and believe them, then they will be a little bit more motivated about finishing high school.
Listen, she done checked out, right? How can I get the money? Teach me what all your people, what you're watching, how they're there. And I was like, well, if you want to learn now, you're going to be so much better than me, right? Because I'm just getting in my 30s, early 40s. If you're interested now, you're going to be way better than us, right? So I am affirming her, but also like, you got to finish school. So a couple weeks ago, Chris, we wrote a post about why are people afraid to change, and your response was because of the imposter syndrome. Can you talk about that? What does that mean to you and to everyone else that
Yeah.
knows about it?
Yeah. So I think almost every last one of us has deal with imposter syndrome on some shape, form, or level, right? And even like, and I'll give a testimonial. So like, I went through various different stages of conferences. Of course, I told you I had a master's degree in counseling, though. That's what my master's degree is, in counseling, right? But before I decided to actually, is that my reception?
No, that's her. Go ahead.
When I decided to actually coach individuals one-on-one or even as a group, I started feeling like, man, and the craziest thing is I had already paid for coaches. I had already had responses to actually people that would ask me for advice, right? But I was like, can I charge for this? Like, how much to charge for this? Like, and if they what if they write that they didn't get any like nothing changed for them, and I'm thinking all of these various different things, right? But that was very short-lived, I'll tell you that. but you always deal with, some form of imposter syndrome, because it's just like a person that wants to be an NBA player, right? They're practicing, they're playing, and they're hearing from all of their family and their coaches and other teammates, you're gonna make it, you're gonna make it. But then at some point they be thinking in their mind, nah, man, the percentages of people that make it into the NBA is like only 3%, 2%, or whatever. And so they start feeling like they're an imposter. Like, even though like, you're on par, you have the skill set, you have the information, the knowledge, and the experience. There's no reason why you should feel like an imposter, right?
So, I mean, there's so many various things that go into this imposter syndrome, but the main one is not feeling confident in yourself, right? That's the one. Not feeling that you internally you're experiencing that you're not good enough, and you don't know how others are going to perceive you. And that's what you were
Right. Yeah.
explaining, Chris. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I went through all this training, I'm ready, but then you get there, like, oh shoot, am I really ready? Right? And you start questioning. And we've been talking about this the whole season, about doubting yourself and
Yeah.
the limiting beliefs that we put on ourselves. And
Yeah.
I think limiting beliefs are what really holds us back. All the negative self-talk that we say to ourselves on a daily basis, right? And then
Yeah.
it's just, I mean, when we talk about limiting beliefs, I mean, you can think of them right now. No one's going to show up. No one's going to buy my services.
Yeah.
I'm not experienced enough. I didn't go to coaching. I have all this knowledge. I mean, you just tell yourself this, and it slows you down. It slows you down from jumping into what it is that you really want to do, or what you need to be doing, whatever your gift is. We're gifted. Some of us are gifted with this work. We're supposed to be doing it, and we still question ourselves.
You know what I think? You know what I think adds for us, though, as people, us melanated people. I think what really tends to happen is we've had the external people tell us we aren't good enough. Then within our own communities, we've had people tell us we weren't good enough. And so it definitely can be some generational trauma that happens to us mentally in regards to us doing whatever it is we're trying to achieve, right? And truthfully, I think there are some sound ways of like getting out of the mind state of being or dealing with imposter syndrome. One of the things that I've been able to effectively do over the last 2 or 3 years is surround myself with people that will pour into me equally as I pour into a whole bunch of other people, right? Right? When you have people that really genuinely will pour into you and will be like, and hold you accountable, or even be pushing you some kind of nice little competition type situation. Like, boy, you better get your podcast together. Girl, you better get your podcast together. you better get your you better do some content today. You better, go on Instagram
Mhm.
live or Facebook live, or you better like
Mhm.
when people do that for, with you or around you, it gets you away
Mhm.
from those people that have said you ain't gonna never be nothing. Or, I got in trouble a lot
Mhm.
as a kid. I got first cousins, no lie, first cousins that was like, you a troublemaker. No, granted, I was in trouble a little bit, but
Oops.
you know,
Mhm.
pour life into me. I don't need you telling me something that I'm already dealing with at a school. If I've got suspended
Mhm.
from school, and I got about to say, I believe in you. I know you can do things better. I know you're going to go far. Like
Mhm.
say things, speak those things as if they were so. Like you know,
Mhm.
pour life into people, right? But I had
Mhm.
relatives that was like that. And truth be told, like my trajectory of where I am today versus where I grew up, and the people that were around me, like you would
Mhm.
be like, whoa, dude, like that's like you're doing some good stuff. Like because it's
Mhm.
like I was around drug activity. I even had the opportunity and was a street pharmacist. Like God has really taken me from a place of like poverty, of
Mhm.
depression, of um, you know, like low vibrating, energy, like away from a
Mhm.
lot of that to a
Mhm.
place to where I live in abundance. And I like, when we talk about like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna let y'all talk because I could
No,
go
no, no,
on
you're
and on
good.
about
No.
No, you're
how
good. Go ahead. You're
you
good.
just get around people that are positive people that will pour into you as equally as because you will end up your cup will end up like my coffee cup. It's empty right now. I want another cup. You feel me? But you need people constantly pouring
Mhm.
into you as you're pouring out into other people, right?
Right.
And so how do we
Right.
effectively do that? Because it's easier said than done. It's like
Right.
Mhm.
tapping into a podcast like this, right?
Mhm.
This has been nothing but positive, just even being invited. I appreciate y'all, like, and just having this conversation about, changing your mindset,
Right. Right.
right?
Yeah.
And,
We talk a
you
lot
know,
about that, about changing your mindset. Mhm.
so I mean, that's my biggest nugget for anybody that ever would tap into anything I'm listening, like I'm on or I'm listening to. If you if
Mhm.
you if you if you can get around people that are positive, that will pour into you, like your cup will never run empty, right?
Mhm.
But when you operate from a spirit of abundance, you're really not really concerned about that, truthfully.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
And,
You're
and
not really
and that
concerned about that.
that is so true. I mean, and me and Ingrid talk about this all the time because because I work with so many people, people expect me to be everywhere and to be at everything and to be surrounded by people all the time. But my spirit doesn't need that. I'm perfectly okay out here in the middle of nowhere by myself 90 something percent of the time. And when I need my cup filled, I got Ingrid, I got other coaches, I got other people around me that pour into me, and that's all I need. Like I'm just so spiritually full. When you said I watched one of your videos one day, and you said rich before 50 in mind, spirituality, and money. Right, yourself, your spirit,
Mhm.
and your finances, and it
Mhm.
starts here. It starts with yourself first, with your spirit first, yourself,
Mhm.
and then you're gonna start affect be abundant everywhere else. And
Right.
and I'm good. I'm good. I'm like absolutely good. And people be like, Dom is so standoffish. No, I'm not. It's just that I'm good with me.
Mhm.
And the people, the people that I am surrounded by, it's
Mhm.
just such a positive energy of my circle. I'm like, okay, this is great. Like, where I'm at right now, who gets to do this, right? If I walk around here, our people don't get to see this. We don't get to go on a Monday or Tuesday night and go stay the night in the forest and wake up in the morning and take our kids to school. Like we don't get to do that, right?
Yeah,
And so that's spiritually rich to
Mhm.
me.
yeah,
Mhm.
And so
yeah.
let's transition. And Ingrid, you're quiet, so I want you to dive into is how do we break that cycle? How do we take these? We have millions of small businesses around us. Lots of our people are starting businesses,
Mhm.
and I'm honest and say, listen, you have a great idea, but you're not going to get rich just right here. What else can you do? There's so much money out there. How can you pivot? How can you scale what you're already doing to create money? How can you what can we do? And these are the conversations that we need to have, because your candles are great. We always use candles as an example. They're great, but they're not going to make the likelihood of you making $1 million and getting rich off just your candle line is very slim. What else? What do we need to be doing to take that candle line or whatever it is you're doing? It works for anything to a
Right.
next level, Chris. So you're an expert in this. What does rich before 50 mean? How do we transition? What do we do?
Okay, so this is for me or for
Yep,
Ingrid?
this is for
This
you
for
and
you.
Ingrid.
This for
Oh,
you. This for
okay,
you.
cool. All right, so one of the things that I learned from Myron and from a couple other mentors that I've had is that you've got to have there's somebody that wants to know your life experience or just experience anyway. Whatever you've done in your life, somebody wants to know that because they're going to be facing or dealing with that at some point in their life, right? So if you create or you spend time doing some active work in the front, meaning like writing out a book, a 10-step process. It doesn't have to be a long, people be writing their whole life story in these big long books or whatever. It can be a 10-step process. It can be 10 steps to how I was able to make it from face with such and such down the street, Pookie them down the street, to making it to like it, literally people want to know this stuff, right?
Right.
Because if there's somebody in that area, how did I make it from St. Clair in Cleveland to 143rd in Cleveland, right? Like what that transition looked like, right? Somebody wants to know because they're making that same transition or they're going through that process in life. But when we talk about business, even if it's on a candle line, right? How did I get started in candles? How did I get started with creating my first business? Who purchased my first 20 candles? Like there's a lot of different ways you can monetize and create something on the beginning that then becomes on autopilot. So if I got something that's digital, I got an ebook, I got or just a PDF of something. And cool part about it is there's people on Fiverr all day, every day that will create this cool design, and nothing to the graphics designers on here because I know that's somebody's business. I'll address y'all later. I got some other stuff for y'all because guess what? You can anyway. We'll get back to it. But so you pretty much create the document for somebody else that needs it. And there's going to be people throughout life that's going to need it. And once you have a library or a collection of different documents, right? Those can be put on autopilot. You put that in the actual in a click funnel, right? Somebody buy those products. Those are low ticket products. Probably could be like between $10 to $50 to even $100. I've seen some people pay $200 for some ebooks, but okay, right? So that's on autopilot. So that's your very low ticket item that can get people in the door. And if that was of value, they're going to want more. And guess what? They're going to share that small tidbit of information with other people, right?
Right.
Once you share that means that now, okay, so what's the next charge up from there? It's me show you how to do those things.
Right.
So it's me coaching you. That's the next ticket item, right? The next ticket item is me coaching you, but me not just coaching Ingrid and Dom, me coaching the whole group. Because I've already built a whole list or of customers in my CRM system, right? CRM, customer relations management system. Yep. I built all of them for buying all of the ebooks, but now I can bring them over into a learn how to do this with Chris or learn how to do this with Rich, right? Boom. That's the next ticket item. So how much? Okay, I charge everybody $100 for the ebook or $50 for the ebook. Now I charge them $1,000 for the coaching, or maybe $200 for the coaching. I don't know. You figure out your pricing or whatever. And then there's a third item. There's a high ticket item. I either do whatever it is that I said I try to teach you in the ebook. I either do it all the way for you and put it in a box, or I do a one-on-one. I got 3 different business models off of making candles.
I mean, Ingrid, how often are we talking about this? Listen, coaches, consultants, we speak the same language. We're getting coached by the same people, the same group of people. The
Right.
information doesn't change, you guys. It doesn't matter who you go to. You're going to hear the same information, right?
Right.
So
Exactly.
me and Chris are both watching Myron Golden, and then and a bunch of other people, right? And we
Mm-hmm.
pay for what we can afford out of those people, because Myron is $25,000 an hour, right? So we watch him on YouTube right now. Well, I do. I don't know about Chris, but I watch him on YouTube. But I mean, just watching his YouTube alone, you get an
Mm-hmm.
abundance of information. And again, we're speaking the same stuff over and
Right.
over and over. You know why? The system does not change. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter what business you're in. It doesn't matter if you're a coach, a consultant. It doesn't matter if you have a service or a product-based business. The information
Right.
is still the same across the board.
Yeah.
It changes a little
Mm-hmm.
bit based on your niche and what you do, but the information is the same.
Yeah.
You could take that information Christopher just said and apply it to any of your businesses.
Business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How to? I mean, just how to? How do I go from being a little wild little child in Oak Park to being up here in the mountains, walking around in nature at 40 years old? Right? How to? How does that happen? I'm supposed to be dead. I've been. I could talk about that in the book. I've almost died 10 times. I'm not supposed to be here. That's something I could sell. Why am I not doing it? Limiting beliefs, not believing in. I mean, all that stuff applies to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And then what me and Ingrid talk about all the time, where is the urgency? If you want to be rich and you want to create wealth, where is the urgency on your life to do that? Chris just gave us a
Mm-hmm.
whole bunch of different ways to do it. Guess what? If you can't pay for me or Ingrid or Chris, go to YouTube. It's there. Figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Figure it out.
But at some point, like here's the thing that I wholeheartedly believe. You can get a lot of information from YouTube. Trust and believe. That was what coached me into how to do a full renovation of a house. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like I didn't have no other prior experience or knowledge or classes. Right? YouTube helped through plumbing, electrical, and everything else under the sun. How to fix this whole house up when a contractor screwed me over on $25,000. I'm still looking for him, by the way. But ultimately, like at some point when the problem we have with YouTube is you can't interact with that person.
True.
Like you can't ask them questions that you like if I like you told me how to do this, and this, but there might my situation might have had a couple little bumps in the road that I might need to kind of like ask you. Like,
true.
So should I approach it this way or should I? So that's what's lacking when you don't actually have a coach, right? But you do what you can do within the means of the YouTube to get you the money to be able to pay for the coach.
Right.
But if okay, say by chance you don't have the time to make the money, right? I always tell people leverage your credit. So everything should be about leverage. I'm doing a presentation for one of my other networks I'm a part of, and the title of my presentation is leverage. Even though I'm talking about investing, I'm talking about credit, I'm talking about building a business, but it's really like leverage. Whatever I have, if I don't have credit, if I don't have or money, I'm going to leverage somebody else's. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to bring my great idea that's sound to Dom or to Ingrid and say, look, can you fund this idea? I don't have no money. I don't have no credit. But guess what? I'll give you 8% of the proceeds. All I need is 20.
Right. They do that on Shark Tank all the time. That's they stand in front of the sharks and tell them, look, I'll give you this for this. Chris, I'll give you this for this. The best investment is someone else's money.
Chris, I have a great idea. Can you leverage my business?
Okay. Hello, it's someone else's money. That's the best thing. Thank you. Do you guys have anything final before we close out? Chris, any action items? Don, you have something?
I mean, we'll probably go a minute or two older. Chris, real quick, what is Rich Before 50? Where can they find you? Yeah. What does that mean? Real quick.
Right. So Rich Before 50 came to me probably about, what's this, 2022? Probably about 2014, right? And it was a goal for me, like to be rich before 50, right? Not just rich financially, but rich spiritually, mentally, and more so at around that time, relationship wise with my wife, right? To be completely solid, right? As a unit, right? So, and I wanted to share that same sentiment with other people, right? Something to achieve. And so, as you can see, I'm wearing it.
Mhm.
Rich Before 50.
Yeah.
We do so, and I don't push the clothing line right now because I have a full plate, right? And we're at a stage where my wife has employees. I've been just holding off on having employees because I still want to have my hand in the business. I want to be an employee to my business, which is a problem, right? And we
Mhm.
all should be removing ourselves when we start a business. Figure out how you can get out of the business, right? But
That's
that's
another
what
coaching
Rich Before
conversation.
that is
Yeah.
definitely another conversation. But
Right.
Rich Before 50 is not really about a number, right? It's about a mindset, right? And when you go to the website of richbefore50.com and you see the clothes that's on there right now, you'll see that the very first tagline is it's not about an age, it's about a mindset. And that's really the tagline for Rich Before 50. And what was the other
Do you
question?
have anything coming up right now, Chris, that the viewers should know about? Anything they can, see you in or you participating in, anything like that?
Yes. So I am a part of a large coaching group of about 60 people. I will be making some posts on Instagram about it. It's a $25 a month, but you can ask any question under the sun. And there's three coaches, me, Jay, and Mark, that have done quite a lot of things, right? We have a lot of information, a lot of resources, meaning like banks, like that we could call on the phone and go to have lunch with. Like, so there's a lot of, she said Rich Before 70. I love it.
Listen,
Facebook is
I
so,
ain't mad
anyway,
at
so you can follow me on Instagram at
her.
Rich RICHB as in boy 450 underscore, right?
can you put that in the comments, sis, for us? One of us can do it.
At Rich Before 50 underscore, right?
Jeez. At
Sis, you
Rich
want to close
Before
us out?
50. Yeah.
Yeah.
At Rich Before 50 underscore.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. I'm excited. I need to be a
Am I
next. I need to
spelling
be
am I
that coach.
spelling out before 50?
It's B
B, the number 450.
number
Okay.
450 underscore.
Underscore. And that's it.
That's it. And on
All right.
TikTok, I think it's the same. I'm not on Twitter. Let's see, Facebook. It would be hard for me to tell you how to follow me on Facebook, but I do have a Rich Before 50 Solutions business page on there. Other
No, you
than
don't.
that,
It's just there.
it is just there. It's not really a business page. It's just there because I'm doing my automation from there. But
Oh, love it.
yeah.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. I mean, this information is so valuable, and we need to just spread it as much as we can. Again, we speak the same language. It's different hearing it from other people to let you know that me and Ingrid aren't making this stuff up. We're not making it up. We didn't just get the information out of anywhere. Ingrid's paid a few commas in coaching. I've paid thousands in coaching. Chris has paid thousands, a few commas, a couple numbers before the comma in coaching. And so we're not coming with you from no experience. We're coming from experience. And so thank you guys for tuning in. Ingrid, take us out.
Thank you guys so much for sharing your morning with us. We appreciate you and we value your time. We will be back here on Friday as Business Love and Tidbit close out season 1. And we will see you on Friday, 6:30 a.m. Pacific time because we're in Cali. And until then, you guys have an awesome and amazing day and the rest of your week. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, lady.